Human beings are preconditioned to figure out how to avoid pain and gain pleasure in any given situation. Whenever you associate pain with something, your brain will try to avoid that thing at all costs, even if the painful thing is something as simple as having to get out of bed in the morning. Our brains hate dealing with painful things so much, they will even prioritize avoiding pain over gaining something that gives us pleasure. So why is understanding this mental pattern relevant to you getting better on the guitar? As human beings, guitar players are naturally going to avoid tackling the more challenging, painful aspects of learning and playing and gravitate towards focusing on what they're already good at and enjoy playing. When you only learn and play things that you feel comfortable with, you're doing yourself a great disservice. You simply won't be able to become truly skilled as a guitar player if you aren't learning the skills and techniques that are challenging to you. I get it. Pretty much everything on the guitar seems really hard when you first try it, but you owe it to yourself to push through those initial feelings of discomfort. Everything that is a worthwhile skill to learn is difficult before it becomes easy. The way to overcome this resistance to pain on the guitar is to make a habit of attacking what's difficult, the core challenge, and focusing all your repetitions on eliminating the main problem before you spend a ton of time automating the whole piece you are working on. When you get comfortable with immediately taking command of the core challenge, you're giving yourself the freedom to practice and play knowing that you've already gotten the hard part out of the way. Let's put this into practice. You're working on a chord progression and there's one chord change that is really difficult. Every time you come to it, you stumble through it and it ruins the flow of the entire progression. Most people would just keep looping through the segment and stumbling in the same place, thinking that it would eventually work itself out. Spoiler alert, it won't work itself out. What you need to do is isolate the hard part and take it above everything else first. Only focus on that one chord change until you can play it perfectly. Now when you play the entire progression, you'll be able to smoothly execute the entire piece. This strategy might sound ridiculously obvious at first, but think about your own pattern of behavior. Are you consistently stepping up to the core challenge first thing, no matter what? If not, it's time to do yourself a favor and start. Now that we've talked about the importance of identifying and focusing on your core challenge first, I'm going to share with you the secret to taking the entire piece that you're working on to a high level quickly and effectively. After I teach players how to break things down into smaller bites, their tendency is to practice those sections at a tempo that is way too fast. It's easy to watch a lesson from your favorite instructor and become tempted to learn it at the tempo that they're using to demonstrate the song, skill, or technique. Keep in mind that practice doesn't make perfect. Practice makes permanent. So when you try and learn things at too fast of a tempo, you're actually cementing those mistakes that you are inevitably making into your memory. Not good. In order to become skilled at quickly mastering those small pieces, you have to practice them a lot slower than you might think you need to. Using a metronome is very helpful and will teach you how to play it in time. Remember, your goal is to master the small piece before you speed it up or move on to learning the next piece. Once you become skilled at playing each piece slowly and your brain has memorized the pattern perfectly, it's time to speed things up a bit. The trick to getting good enough to automate a process on the guitar is to put in enough repetitions so that you can play something mistake-free at a much higher tempo than you really need to. Being able to play a song that is normally at 110 BPM at 130 BPM makes it seem really easy at 110. This is what I call headroom, and it is vital to your success as a guitar player. Headroom isn't just about speed, it's about mastery. When you know you can play any skill or technique much faster than you need to, you then have the confidence necessary to start playing real music. This mastery is what will allow you to perform at a skilled level, even when factors like nerves or sweaty hands are vying for your attention. Headroom gives you the freedom to play with the emotion needed to create a truly memorable performance. Attacking the core challenge is what will allow you to break through to the other side, where practicing what you're focused on becomes a lot easier and gets you results that are 10 times better than what you were getting before. The more challenges you take head on, the better you'll get at it, and the more your practice and skill level on the guitar will improve.